Shai Franklin. Shai is the former executive director at the World Jewish Congress. Thank you so much indeed for joining us, Shai. When you look at what's happened after Tuesday's vote from afar, do you think your thoughts are any different from those in Israel? Is there good cause to think that a unity government between these two rivals could be formed?
One would certainly hope so, because there's no other route to a majority government of 61 or more seats out of 120 in the Knesset. The fact that the second election was held so shortly after the first election is a sign that Benjamin Netanyahu, up until now, has been willing to go to any length to avoid a coalition government, which he could have had last time around. The concern he has is that a coalition government may not protect him against prosecution for corruption charges.
Yes, absolutely. We spoke to Gideon Levy, the columnist at Haaretz, a couple of hours ago. He said that may actually be the prime motivation for Benjamin Netanyahu to make this deal for a unity government. Do you agree with that? Because it seems quite fantastical that a man who's the heavyweight of Israeli politics, and certainly has been until now, will be looking at his self-preservation above the national interest.
He has a record of focusing on self-preservation. As we see in many countries, including perhaps here in the United States, self-preservation and opportunism can pay off very well if done properly and in a way that captures the spirit and the emotions of enough people to vote for you. No matter what happens with the coalition government this time around, though, Netanyahu will not have 61 votes to protect him from prosecution. So it looks like his time has run out.
Where does this leave Benny Gantz's potential pre-election idea of actually being able to work with the Arab list, the different parties that represent Arab interests in Israel that come together to contest an election as a unit? If there were to be a unity government between Likud and the Blue and White Alliance, would that completely sideline those Arab parties?
I think it would, and I have not seen any indication from the Arab parties, which have come together as a joint list, to suggest that they would participate in such a government. I think the Arab Israelis who voted for the joint list voted for it expecting that they would not join an Israeli coalition government. There are Arab Israelis who vote for Blue and White, who vote for Labor, even a few who vote for Likud. So if they want to support an Israeli government coalition, then they will vote for those parties. It's unlikely that the joint list would even agree to participate in such a coalition. So I think it's unlikely if there's from the Jewish side, if there's a coalition between between Blue, White, and Likud, I don't think they would include the joint list.
Is it the beginning of the end of Netanyahu's time as the foremost political heavyweight of Israeli politics? Is this now, if he's forced to enter into this sort of arrangement with Benny Gantz, an indication that after such a long time as that figurehead, people have become a bit tired and are looking for something else?
Well, people have become tired. People are looking for something else. It's not clear that Benny Gantz is that something else. He got a couple more seats than Netanyahu, but still only barely a quarter of the Knesset seats. So Netanyahu has not been replaced yet. He will not be replaced, even if he leaves the scene. And this legal process, the indictments, a trial, a conviction, all the immunity situation of whether his immunity gets lifted can take months, can take well over a year for him to actually leave the scene. And if there's a rotation government where he's prime minister or Gantz is prime minister, then they switch. It could go on for a while. But I think we have passed the zenith of his political power.
Shai, thank you so much for spending time with us on TRT World. Really appreciate it. Shai Franklin speaking to us from New York.